as you go through this course, I suggest that you spend quite a bit of time doing some real programming, just trying out the things that have been described in the lesson. So here I'm going to do that. Project, new project, application. I'll make a very simple user interface with an edit box and a button. I don't really care what it looks like, because this is just an excuse for me to try out some code. Double click button. Now I set up some variables. Var. Now here I'm going to do something that is actually going to cause me problems. That's integer. Right, so I'm trying to create a variable called begin. And I want to set begin to 10. Now let's try running that. Clicking the run button up here. Ah, it doesn't like that. Let's have a look what it says. Fatal syntax error. Identifier expected but begin found. Well, of course, begin is a keyword. It's a reserved word in Pascal. And it won't let me create variables with the name of a keyword or a reserved word. You see, begin is used here. It has a special meaning in Pascal. So let's change that to something different. It's going to be some sort of calculation, so I'll call it subtotal. Okay, let's see if it's happy with that. Okay, so that's no problem. What if I want to put a number at the beginning? Try this again. No, it doesn't like that. Syntax error. So I can't put a number right at the beginning of a variable name. I could put an underscore, that's allowed. Let's try that. Yes, no problem with that. And I could put a number at the end. That's allowable as well. So there are certain rules, and I've explained those in the ebook that comes with this course. There are certain rules in the naming of variables, but as a general principle, as long as you stick to normal alphabetic characters, you're okay. Now let me see, what do I need here? I actually want this not to be an integer but a double. A double is a floating point number. Total tax and tax rate. And let me see what I want done here. I want subtotal equals 10. Okay, that's okay. Tax rate is, let's put it 20%, 0.2. Wait a minute, make sure I spell it correctly. Then tax equals, I'm going to do some mathematics here, subtotal multiplied by tax rate. So that multiplies the value of subtotal by the tax rate. We'll assume that tax rate is a fixed rate that's applied to whatever products I'm selling. And then total equals subtotal plus tax. Display the whole lot in the edit box. Edit 1 dot text equals float to str. Remember, I used a similar function earlier to convert an integer to a string. This converts a floating point, such as a double, to a string. Total. Right, so that should calculate 20% of the subtotal, assign that value to tax, then add the tax to my subtotals, give me the actual total. Let's see if it really works. got a mistake here. I've missed out my comma there. Okay, that looks like it's successful. Let's see if it works. And yep, that's the result I was expecting. Okay, so that's okay. Only problem here is that I want the tax rate to be fixed. Now this could, in principle, be a program thousands and thousands of lines long, and at some point, some careless programmer might redefine my tax rate, as I'm doing here. Is that permissible? It's a variable, tax rate's a variable. Yes, it's permissible. So suddenly, I've got a different result. Now I want to make sure that doesn't happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change how I've declared tax rate. I don't want it to be available for its value to be changed at any stage, so I'm going to make it a constant. A constant is declared following the const keyword instead of the var keyword. Tax rate. I don't need to put a type, :type as with variable. I just put whatever value I want it to be, and I want it to be 0.2. Now let's see if that works. That should mean that tax rate can never be changed within the lifetime of this program, so that some programmer cannot accidentally apply a different rate of tax. And that's the value of a constant when you want to make sure that it can't be changed. And 2 errors have been noticed because I've tried to redefine tax rate. Delete the first. Nope, still an error. Delete the second. Successfully built. And this time it's back to working. So that gives an example of an occasion when you might want to define an identifier to have a fixed value, something that cannot ever be changed. It is an error for somebody to try and change it. And that's been done here by making it a const instead of a var, a constant instead of a variable.